Hi guys, it's Ms. Zimmer again with a quick correction on the law of cosines. I showed you this problem, and when I looked back at it and the angles and sides, the longest side was not opposite the largest angle, I realized I made an error. Now, the number one thing that you have to do when solving a problem with three sides and you're finding an angle, start with the angle that is opposite the longest side. And that's the mistake that I made. So this is just a follow-up to that problem, redoing it so that it is correct this time. Okay, so let's do that. This is the longest side. And the good thing about that is now we get to see, well, if the formula for missing angle says cosine of A and we're looking for B, what do we do? Well, cosine B, and by the way, this is a 9, not an A, cosine of angle B, well, look, this letter and this letter match. So we're going to put B here, so B has to be the end, which is 9 squared, because these match. Now, what are the other two sides? Well, we're already using 9. So the two that go into these two spots where the B and C are, well, those two spots are not B and C anymore. They would be little a and little c, or 4 and 6. Remember, whatever angle you're solving for, you have to subtract the square of the side opposite it. So hopefully this helps you with the fact that I probably caused some confusion. Now, we need to go ahead and solve this by doing the top part of the equation, 4 squared plus 6 squared minus 9 squared. We want the numerator, and yes, it's negative. And then we want the denominator, 2 times 4 times 6, or 48. And we got cosine of B. Now, second, cosine. Remember, this is an inverse function because we're solving for an angle. And then we just put negative 29 divided by 48. So cosine negative 1, or inverse function, negative 29 divided by 48 equals, and now we've got the correct angle for B. Measure of angle B is 127. So the one thing I was right about in the other video is that there are some cases where this will not work. And the way that you overcome the fact that some cases it won't work is that you have to start looking for the angle opposite the largest side, and then it will work. So that is very important. Now that we have 127 here, now we can go over to the law of sines. So 9 over the sine of 127 equals, let's go ahead and solve for that A now, 6 over the sine of A. And again, sine of A. We're solving for an angle. We're going to be using our inverse function. We're going to multiply across 6 sine of 127 over 9. Now, you could do sort of like we did here and solve the numerator and the denominator, but you can put it all in at once. So I'm going to hit 6 sine 127 equals divided by 9. And now I get my decimal. I know that my angle is not less than 1 degree. So this is the number that we're going to do the inverse function of. So second sine, and second, the answer button is the negative sign now, equals, and we get 32. So the measure of angle A was correct at 32. The problem was the angle B. So now that we have 32 here, and we have 159. 159 from 180 is 21. And now we have all of the angles, and it does follow the correct rule. The longest side is opposite the greatest angle, the smallest angle opposite the shortest side, and so forth. And you can use the law of cosines. So I hope that clears that up from my last video.